Hello everyone, welcome back to Morrowind. Today, we're gonna take a brief pit stop at this tomb. The Fadratham one, and I should save, just in case. And then we are going to the hardest area in the base game. It's gonna be very interesting. Going to have to save the world, ladies and gentlemen, or at least this chunk of it. Though Dagoth never struck me as the type to stop, as it were. Veteran Guard Shield. I did have a quest for that, didn't I? Andas Reth? This isn't Andas Reth. There's a Veteran Guard Shield here nonetheless. May be useful for cheating that quest. It may be specifically keyed shields, though. It's kind of hard to tell. Man, you'd think a skeleton would have better reaction times, given that they don't have a nervous system to slow them down. But nope. Shank, shank, shank. At least this one seems to have decent reaction times, if not one's fast enough to keep me from stabbing them to death. Flynn. I don't really need to be a teak, I've got enough teak scrolls. Alright, telekinesis is what teak means. Sorry, I am among other things a StarCraft nerd, so that term kind of stuck in my brain. Apologies for anyone who didn't get that the first time. Telekinesis is pretty cool, though it essentially extends your reach. Like, you see how I can pick this up, how I can activate this from here? It would let me, say, grab that over there, if I wanted to. It's a pretty simple ability, but it's pretty useful. Also note the dead cliff racers. They ran into me literally as I started the video. Don't worry about it, they're just cliff racers, you know? Now we could go all the way through... Now I want to go to the Ghost Gate. Because now that the people there have basically orders from Vivek to tell me everything they need to tell me everything they know. Yeah. Which means I may be able to get some information on the locations of other 6th House fortresses. I would like to know those locations, so it means less wandering for you guys when I am hunting down the heart items. As I do plan to get all 7 of the heart items. Also, something occurred to me. They're called heart whites. And I theorize this is because their heart items are like a phylacathy. Or possibly simply a metaphysical connection to their heart. It could be that it's not a connection to their heart, but the heart of Lorkhan. Because Lorkhan is an Etada, or god. The Millidated Princes are also Etada. Is rather odd. Especially some of the things that can happen. I'm reminded of... Do we ever actually find a book about mantling? Do we ever find one of those? I'm not sure. Okay, just in case we never do find a book about mantling, I'm going to talk about it now while we wander around, and try to find someone to tell us about the fortresses. So, mantling. It's an interesting Elder Scrolls concept. Really? Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 7. Map of Red Mountain. Anyway. Let's read that, but first... Ah, that did mark them. Good, I remembered correctly. Kogaroon, Nunial, Tuyendal, Dosal, Dagoth So, to explain this? Sorry, it's a little complicated. Okay. You guys know, if you've ever heard about the concept of inheritance of power, or Fisher King, it's something like that. If you act like someone, you will become that someone. The more closely you echo their acts. So for some reason it didn't mark Indusal, whatever. But their acts will also echo your acts if you echo their acts enough. Because mantling is atemporal. If you change the mantle by having it, and then doing something outside of it, either you are no longer mantling at all, and thus have never had the mantle, and thus there's some odd paradoxes that come into play here, mind. Or the mantle changes. Now, you may wonder what that has to do with Lord Khan. See, what Lord Khan did was create the world. Like, all of it. And his buddies, his fellow Atada, they didn't really like that. They liked their pre-world, as it were. The stuff before there was. So they punished him by killing him. However, you can still mantle Lorcan in his views and actions. You cannot create the world, obviously. But there are some meta arguments here, and there are some non-meta arguments. I'm going to start with the meta one. Specifically the concept of cell loading. See, this game is old. It can't just maintain the entire world map at once, keep everything going, keep all these little entities active at all times and interacting with each other. It just isn't capable of that. So instead, around you, it remembers certain things. For example, these creatures, like cliff racers, are spawned or created whenever you come near. This could be argued as where you walk, the world being created. And where you are not, there being no world. Which adds a bit of a cosmic horror feel when you think about it. Because all the player characters are mantling Lorcan in terms of keeping the world as it should be. But if you're just destroying the world wherever you leave, what's that say about relationships? What's that say about the people? What's that say about history? It's kind of terrifying, honestly. Anyway. There is something I missed in this area, and it was very deliberately missed. A very simple item. Rather simple place. This tower. We're going in. There's nothing here but one item. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the best short blade in the base game. Keening. Look at those effects. Fortify Magicka 50 points. Fortify Health 30 points. Fortify Attack 30 points. Agility 20 points. Speed 20 points. Good sizes of damage. Better than a Daedric Dagger. Lighter than a Daedric Dagger. Slightly less worse condition than a Daedric Dagger. 400,000 gold's worth. We're going to need this. However, if we try and wield it without Wraithguard, we lose health very fast. So fast that I'm actually going to save before showing it off. Weapon. Keening has dealt you a mortal wound. Look at how fast my health is dropping. Yeah. That fast. If I equip this, though, watch, my health is no longer dropping. Yeah. Now, in the inventory, it's paused, so you don't have to worry about, you know, getting murdered by your own sword while you're swapping your equipment. So, if you want to use it, carry Wraithguard at all times. No Grim Titan. Actually, I said I would check their strength. Oh, it's still 100. I had thought these guys had over maximal strength. They're not as impressive as you used to be, oh Grim Titans. Sad. Sad. Let's go to Tuliendal. Now, the in-universe reason for thinking that we're Lorkhan reborn. Well, not reborn, so it is mantling him. It's kind of complicated how mantling works. Most of the details that support this theory come from not this game, but instead it comes from... How should I put this? What's the name? God damn it, I should know this name. Sorry. Ah! It comes from a Knights of the Nine downloadable content for Oblivion, which I will strongly recommend, by the way. The Tale of Pelinal and Saint Alessia. See, remember how I mentioned that it's perfectly possible that we are uncreating and recreating the world as we walk is a partial reason for why some people consider that the player character is Lorkhan's mantle, is mantling Lorkhan? Pelinal explicitly did that, and Saint Alessia had to pray to the gods every time he got angry and channeled Lorkhan. Like, he just wiped out entire sections of reality because he was so fucking angry. And yeah, it's kind of scary when you say it like that. But he was explicitly mantling Lorkhan. He was also, however, mantling Talos, in the form of Talos' wrath against Myr. Because Talos is Tiber Septim, and Tiber Septim mantled Talos. And he acquired divine blessings from Talos. Tiber Septim is the guy who made the Empire. We'll be discussing him more when we finally get around to Oblivion, because the main reason he was able to unite the Empire is... Sorry, we'll be discussing him when we get to Skyrim, not Oblivion, though Oblivion is quite important to him. But... the main reason he was able to unite the Empire is the main gimmick of Skyrim, the Thu'um. Let's save to our thingy. His voice. Oh god, get out of my face, get out of my face. I'm gonna make sure I'm wearing the appropriate gear. Mother's ring. I don't want the Warden's ring, I want Morara's ring for more reflect. But yeah, so this is what let Tiber Septim unite the Empire, among other things. And and at the end of uniting the Empire, he ascended to Talos. However, as I said, he was also receiving divine blessings from Talos and mantling Talos. This is because Etada are, as I mentioned, atemporal. Essentially, once they exist, they have always existed. You're probably seeing several temporal paradoxes there. Get used to it. Time in Elder Scrolls is completely fucked up. Eye of Thumb wide. Away downwards, and Eye of Duggan. Alright. Let's go kill this guy. Can I get a sneak attack on him? No. Now, one of the things Tiber Septim did is that, well, the elves, they used to rule the world. Like, they used to be the old super civilization in charge of everything, all that jazz, you know? The precursors. Only they were kind of dicks to men, because the elves were superior to men. Also, Bladder of Clovis, ew. But Tiber Septim went no to that. Oh, fuck me, that's an Ash Vampire. We're mucking around. So. Oh, Sermon 7. Do I have 7? But Tiber Septim went, in essence, no to that. They did not have 7. Despite the fact that he could not truly be able to defeat the elves, due to the many, many reasons, he essentially did it anyway. He did what is supposed to be, by the rules setting, impossible by changing the rules. Part of this is because he became Talos later, after he changed the rules. As Talos was what changed the rules. Also, you kind of want to use read Galor-Rothari's papers if you're a vampire and want to get cured. This is one of the best places to find it, as you can get it marked on your map. Now, Sermon 18, do I have that one? No! Multiple sermons here. Alright. Out comes the paper again. Scritch, scratch. And take. And Degatrenial has asphalt. The Amulet of Heartthrum. This is an anti-magic one. As you can see, it provides Fortified Magicka, very good. Lightning Shield and Spell Absorption. Lightning Shield reduce all incoming lightning damage by 20 points, and Spell Absorption absorbs 10 to 20% of incoming spell and gives it to your Magicka. Take his key, and I'll take his amulet, and I'll dump his corpse into the Aether. Sermon 31. Jeez, I'm just drowning in sermons here. And 3! 31 and 3, it seems. Hot damn. 3 and 31. This place really is good for finding sermons. There's even glass greaves here if you still need cash. These are creepy and very rare. Mostly creepy. Bone, Part 2. It's a medium armor thing. And honestly, it's incredibly disturbing to the point that I'm not going to read it. If you wish to read it, please just go look it up, okay? Just please. I really don't want to read that. It's really disturbing, like actively disgustingly disturbing. Kagranak's Plan Book. This isn't a crucial item. But I'm taking it anyway. Because that is the Book of Kagranak, and I believe you can talk to Yagram Bagarn about it. Also going to repair. And collect my thoughts a bit. Now, Mantling can have side effects. Like, for example, the player character in Skyrim is very clearly mantling Talos and Lorcan. As all player characters innately mantle Lorcan, he is also mantling Talos in the form of his, basically, the elves are all douchebags. Also, I'm going to do one more... Never mind. Okay, it seems I need to free up some weight. But, yes. The player character is essentially mantling Talos in his fuck the elves and not in the fun way form. Meaning that, well, he's going to go insane. As another character who mantled multiple things was Pelinal, and he also went insane. Is trying to do multiple mantles unless they are the same person is self-contradictory. And not in a good way. Also, there's quite a few extra Dwemer bits in here. It's also unlocked with Galmus's key. Just figured I'd show off that. Anyway. Trying to be self-contradictory with your mantles is not a good idea at all. It can work out. Temporarily. But in the end... only madness, ladies and gentlemen. Only madness. All that will happen to you in the end if you mantle multiple things is madness. Also, I'm going to drink a bunch of my cheap potions because they're cheap and they're heavy. Now, the reason Septim got away with mantling... Ooh, serving 10. Do I have 10? Yes, I do. Well, the reason Septim could get away with mantling Lorcan is because... and himself, in his god form of Talos. Yeah, I know that's confusing. Why did they put that? Excuse me, I don't need to mess with my inventory. Anyway. The reason he didn't go completely nutter-buggers is because Talos is him. And he essentially used that logic to trick the world with fancy words into considering he only had one mantle. Like min-maxing, as it were. Stacking character templates. I'm taking an amulet. I don't really need the gold. Also, I think this guy has something important about it, but I can't remember what. Oh, yeah, this. An artifact, ebony one-handed axe. Unfortunately, I can't actually carry it with me. As you can see, I am very heavy right now. Unfortunately. Yes, Septim essentially was a tricky little shit. And that's how he managed to mantle multiple entities at a time. Let's make sure I didn't forget where... the artifact Sunder... Sunder was in Vimenial. This is not Vimenial. Okay, good. And honestly, there's a lot of things that Talos/Tiber Septim did that are very confusing, frankly. Some to the point that I don't even know how to explain them. Seriously, when you get into the deeper lore of this series, it's very confusing. There's something to note about all this. This is all also complete bullshit. I just want to make that incredibly clear right off the bat. We both know that this is all true and it is all complete bullshit. See, one of the things that the writers of this game encouraged on the forums was essentially that they provided that it was both possible that all this amazing and fantastical and mind-screwy stuff about mantles and gods and how the world works and divinity and the meta logic and the in-universe connections to the game mechanics, all those other fascinating, fascinating things. Take what you want of them. No, really, take what you want of them. You can believe what I am telling you or not. And you know what? We'll both be right, explicitly, by the creators. Because this is both a simplistic setting of fantasy and a setting where this isn't just game mechanics. I am going to go with the interpretation that is not just merely game mechanics, but that it is a truth, as it were. Because honestly, just interpreting it as, low kind of mediocre fantasy game mechanics, it's viable. And if you don't want to get mind screwed by some of the stranger shit, like when I finally finish off reading the 36 sermons for all y'all, well, just ignore me. Just look at the pretty game, know the cool lore, and explore. Talk to the people, see who you like. Read the books, they're cool. Even if you think they're total bullshit, they're still fun to read. But if you do think that, hey, maybe all that meta bullshit, it might have a point. Keep listening. Now, one of the reasons that Talos wanted to get rid of the elves is that the world ends. If you're at any familiar with common fantasy media, the cycle of destruction and creation for worlds existing is quite common. And there is one. It's called the Wheel. And 8 of the gods are in on it, as it were. 8 spokes of the wheel. However, Talos is not supposed to exist. No. Which means that, essentially, he is a 9th spoke in the wheel. Talos should never have been, and is thus, has barred the wheel. Also, damn, this was a lot of opponents. There are supposed to be 8 divines. This is actually very important for Skyrim, because there are only supposed to be 8 divines for the world to go and how it was previously supposed to work. But Talos was hard enough. That means he was hard. He was. Not was anything, he was. I know it's confusing. But half of this stuff is drowned in metaphor to the point that you have to think like sideways to all basic reason to actually get it, and even then you probably won't get it. Is this the way to dig off or is this one of the places I need to go? I've been here, actually. Endosol. I've been to Endosol. Let's sort it. Where was I? Yeah, I've been to Endosol. There's corpses lying around. So... Unfortunately, I've completely lost my train of thought. Damn it. Okay, let's talk about getting off Earth. You know how he's doing all these things with dreams? And you know how I mentioned that the console commands are arguably canon? Well, that's because of an actually really interesting idea that I believe was borrowed from Buddhism. I may be wrong in the exact religion, mind. See, there's an argument that this world is the dream of Lorcan. Yes, I said Lorcan is dead. That's perfectly true. However, he's a god. Your petty casuality does not apply. Oh. So, there's very strong arguments to be made that the entire world is Lorcan's dream. Now, how this applies to console commands being quasi-canon is interesting. Specifically, it is the concept of lucid dreaming involved here. Now, there's actually a term for this in the universe. Royalty. Not like kings and crowns. No. Just royalty. Or Kim. All capital letters. However, it is really to achieve this, you must realize you are in a dream. Which means you are inherently not real. Obviously, this tends to cause issues, as this causes something called zero sum when you realize you aren't real. You essentially poof out of existence. To the point where no one has achieved zero sum because every time someone achieved it, it has never happened as they have never existed. And what has never existed cannot have done anything. If you guys have any questions about anything I'm saying here, please put them in the comment section below.
You die!
So, if you zero sum, you have never been, and thus it has never happened. Can I talk to this statue? Nope. No pant. Take your gold. Anyway. Essentially, because it is adding together, I think I exist, I do not really exist, and getting I do not exist. 1 minus 1 equals 0 is the way it is put. This is why it is called zero summing, as it is adding 1 and negative 1 to get, well, 0. Oh hey, another sermon, 17. I'll take that. Useless to me because it's long blade, but hey. However, to achieve royalty, you must consciously say, I do not exist, yet I exist anyway. I am fake and a lie, and I am still here. This is very rare. For fairly obvious reasons, I do hope. Ring of Fireball is actually a decent magic item. I'll take exclusives for obvious reasons. Not the cheap, though. I'm running the wrong way. So, that is one of the issues with achieving royalty. However, one of the things that protagonists get is that they are always royalty. So, damn it. I keep hitting 7 instead of 8 to bring up Illarok. And the Mother's Ring is still on? Yes, it is. I'm going to repair a bit, so pause a moment. Or whatever. Not pause. Bah. I'm sure you know what I mean. Now, player characters get this by default, because their job is basically to not be of the world. Remember how I said that it was damn near unbelievable that some random-ass prisoner just happens to be the Nerevarine? That it just happens to all work out? How bullshit that is, and why I was perfectly understanding of people saying essentially, there's no way some random Imperial spy agent could possibly be the Nerevarine. That's because before I existed, I did not exist. I know that sounds silly. But basically before I hit the start button, there's an argument to be made that I, the character, never was. Like, all my backstory was simply retroactively put into existence. Everyone's knowledge of me, the fact that I am, the fact that I can do what I do, is retroactively put in. Now, you may think this is a lot of power to give someone. Especially as, while fate does somewhat guide player characters, they are explicitly far more resilient to it than anyone else. They're like machines, created for a job. That job is to keep the towers up. Remember how I mentioned that towers keep the world as is? One of the things happening here is that Dagoth is trying to usurp the tower. The original Numidium was a tower by the name of Walking Brass. It was all that was possible and impossible. A walking paradox, if you will. And trying to build a new tower is what Dagoth is trying to do. See, Dagoth died. And now you're probably saying, but Archangel, he's still alive, and he's not a god. And you're right. But remember what I said about this whole world being a dream? Dagoth figured out a way to control dreams. That's how he does his whole, I'm infecting you with magical divine powers that are kind of cancer-y through your dreams. He controls dreams. It's his whole gimmick. So the entire world, when he died, he realized that the world is a dream. He realized it so hard that he became dead yet dreaming. A state that is not supposed to be. Yet he is. Now, he is hard enough to make it so the world doesn't simply passively retcon him and go, lol, no, you don't count. Veminal? But he's not so is that the world accepts him. And that is why I am. I am here to, through whatever means I deem necessary, keep Dagoth from existing. Period. I am here to make him not be. He is to be un. Now, one of the reasons he can make a tower, it's not only because the Heart of Lorkhan is stupidly powerful due to, you know, the whole Heart of a God thing. It's because Red Mountain is also a tower. The issue is... he's essentially using Red Mountain to build... oh, fuck me, that's a Red Bone Walker. Oh, fuck me. Please don't use any damage to buildings. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. So... that means that... well... to stop him, I have to destroy his factory to build it. But... the Heart of Lorkhan is also what is keeping the Tower of Red Mountain a tower. Functional. Which basically means to keep a rogue tower from being created, we have to destroy a functioning one. This is also why the Dwemer disappeared. They were dealing with forces very beyond most mortals. Any mortal, frankly. And that was weird. I was trying to talk to him. So we snapped up, but I've never seen that praying pose before. I wonder if that's unique to here. Anyway. Destroying a tower is not... it's not bad. Well, alright, it's incredibly bad, but... okay. I'm gonna talk about some things from from Skyrim now. Specifically, the Thalmor. What they're trying to do by outlawing Talos worship is to destroy the towers that were associated with Talos. They nearly destroyed the White Gold Tower, which is the capital city of the Empire. So I need to drink more potions, damn it. Why do I have 15 Restore Fatigue potions? I don't need 15 Restore Fatigue potions. Go away. Anyway. They've nearly managed it simply by... well, both the events of Oblivion and the events between Oblivion and Skyrim did really, really fuck up White Gold Tower. It's not quite dead yet, but... well, it may be dead. But it's either dead or mortally wounded. I know it doesn't make much sense to be able to wound a tower. Don't think too hard about it. It's a metaphysical concept. Oh, there's an ash vampire down there. Fun, fun. I think I'll go out this door. It's where the outer area is, please. That goes down. Now... one of the things Talos did to the elves that made them into a minor polity that took entire eras before they even managed to conquer a vestigial, badly wounded empire that just suffered a giant demonic invasion. Also, this guy is unique and has unique items, I believe. Yeah, the Blood Feet Shield. This is a unique item. It's decent heavy armor, but by this time you should really have at least Ebony. Come on, guys. Absorb Health is a pretty good enchantment, though, so... if you have the space, take it. I may come back for some of the artifacts off screen and dump them in my little... cubbyhole in Balmora. Actually, could I do that? No. Now, let's kill this ash vampire, and then we'll end off the video. He has Sunder on him, and Sunder... honestly, I'm not going to pick up Sunder this thing. Also, Amulet of Heart Heart Heal. This is a very good item, both for simply punching shit, because it gives you armor, strength, and hand-to-hand, but even for me, who doesn't use hand-to-hand, which is like literally just punching, no weapons, Fortified Strength and Shield is pretty good. However, the most valuable thing here for me is that Levitate. It's 20 points for 30 seconds. It's only 5 pounds, which makes it very, very light. Now, right now I cannot carry Sunder, even though it hits, like, it hits harder than a Daedric Warhammer, I believe. Look at that, 10 to 70 damage. It does constantly drain your fatigue, but look how tiny this thing is. It hits like a Daedric flippin' Warhammer at that size. Come on. It's probably the best blunt weapon in the game. If you can deal with the fatigue draining. And you will get an item to help deal with that. But, yeah. So, if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please leave them in the comment section below, or in the threads on space battles and sufficient velocity that are linked in the description. Next time, I'm going to have cleared out my inventory enough to carry around Sunder, Keening, and Wraithguard, as we'll need them all. And I will have dumped the Cleaver of St. Velms and the Bloodfeet Shield into my little artifact cubbyhole. Though the Cleaver of St. Velms is a unique item and not is the artifact, and the Bloodfeet Shield is just a unique item, but whatever! You understand my points. Goodbye.